Hey there students, under the law of ellipsis, we have this thing known as a force function. Let's say we have got this elliptical orbit. This is the sun and this is another focus without anything. And then this is a planet which is painted in red. So as the planet revolves around the sun, it is subjected to Newton's second law, which states that the force is equals to ma. In this case, we're talking about the gravitational force that this sun exerts on the earth along this radial line r. So this is the radial line r. We say that the sun exerts a force onto the earth centrally. So this is actually a centripetal force in this sense, but we're going to call it a radial force because it's acting along the line that is connecting them, which is the radius. So basically, the acceleration given in polar coordinates is given by two components. It has got a radial component as well as a transverse component. The radial component being this one given by r dot dot minus r theta squared r cap, and then this is the transverse component. But in this case, when we are looking at the force function, we are looking at this force, the radial force, the force that is acting along the line connecting these two objects together. So we are only going to consider this acceleration because that's the radial acceleration. Hence, we're going to rewrite our Newton's second law as the radial force Fr is equals to mar, whereby ar is just the radial acceleration, or basically this acceleration here along the line. So basically, we're just going to say that this is going to be 0 because we are not considering it. We're just considering two dimensions of this whole thing. So what must we try to prove? We must try to prove this equation for the force function. This is the equation that we must prove for the force function when we have got a radial force. Let's begin. So basically, we have got this formula, r is equals to 1 over u. Basically, this is the radius r, and then this is 1 over u. The u is the equation for the ellipse. So the u will be known as the equation. Let's just say the equation for the orbit. So this is the equation for our orbit. So we just want to prove that this orbit is elliptical in a sense, but in this case we are focusing mostly on the force. We want to express it with respect to u. So r, it is the radial distance between the planet and the sun. So r is equals to 1 over u. So basically, let us now start to express. So in this case, we can just say r is actually given by u to the power of minus 1. Okay, so basically now, what can we do? We can try to find r dot, we can try to find r dot dot. Why are we doing that? Is because for us to find our radial force function, Fr, we have to get the following things. Since ar here, we're just considering this acceleration here, we must actually get r dot dot minus r theta dot squared. So basically here, what have we done? We have substituted the acceleration, this radial acceleration, we have substituted here, because remember that force is equals to mass times acceleration according to Newton's second law. So basically, this is force is equals to mass times the radial acceleration. In this case, this is the radial force. So first we need to find r double dot, if we know that r is equals to u to the power minus 1. So to do that, basically you're going to find the derivative of this, because remember that when you write r with a dot on top, we just mean that we're going to find the first derivative of this first. So let's find the first derivative of this in terms of u. So if we are going to differentiate this is a function of two things. U is actually a function of theta, and theta is a function of time. So we are going to apply chain rule twice to be able to differentiate this. So if we differentiate this using the power rule, we are going to get negative u to the power of minus 2. Then you are going to multiply this by the derivative of u, the derivative of u with respect to theta. So you're going to multiply with the derivative of u with respect to theta. Then after that, you are going to multiply with let's just say, okay, so first you're going to multiply this and then you apply the chain rule. Then now we are going to end up deriving theta with respect to time. That will be your last expression. So now to just express this, we just say this is times theta with a dot. We have just differentiated theta with respect to time. Okay, so I'll just say this is d theta dt. So now to express this properly, r dot here, which is the first derivative of r, will be given by negative 1 over u squared. And then this is d theta. Whenever we put d theta, remember that this is the first derivative of theta. So we can just write this as what? We can just write this as theta with a dot. And I will choose to just write du d theta exactly as it is. So basically here, r dot is equals to the following. So theta dot, remember from our previous video or on Kepler's second law of planetary motion, we have said that L is equals to r squared times theta dot. This L represents the angular momentum per unit mass. We've done this proof at some point, so make sure that you check out that video how we got there. So basically, theta dot here, it is actually equals to L over r squared. L over r squared. In this case, since we have said that r is equals to u, so we can just say that theta dot is equals to L over u to the power minus 1, which can just be simplified to theta dot is equals to L times u squared. So this is squared. So I hope that you see the mathematics that's happening here. Basically, we have substituted r into this equation. R is equals to 1 over u, and then there's a squared here. So this is just going to be 1 over u squared. You take the u out upwards. So basically, we're going to substitute theta dot with this new expression and say this is going to be negative 1 over u squared times L u squared. This is replacing theta dot. This is times du d theta. And then now r dot, which is the first derivative there, will give you this and this will cancel. Will remain with negative L times du d theta. So this is the first derivative of r, which is the radial distance. This is the first derivative of the radial distance. Because the radial distance, it is a function of two things. It's a function of theta and it's also a function of time. We applied chain rule twice. But remember that for our equation for the force function, we actually need a second derivative of this because this is r with a double dot, since these are polar coordinates. So we need to find a second derivative of this. So let's find the second derivative of r. So we're going to find r dot dot, which is the second derivative of r. To find the second derivative of r, basically L is a constant. Remember, we've said that the angular momentum in our previous video, we've said that L, which is small letter l, the angular momentum per unit mass, remains the same. It remains constant, or it is conserved. So basically, we're going to take it out as a constant. This is going to be negative L. And then basically, we're going to differentiate this with respect to theta and with respect to time. So we're basically going to differentiate this with respect to theta, then we're going to differentiate as well with respect to time. So to do this, what are we going to do? We're going to just say this is going to be the derivative with respect to theta of what? Of du d theta. We're just going to differentiate this with respect to what? With respect to theta. And then we're going to say this is going to be multiplied by the derivative of theta with respect to time. We're going to multiply this by the derivative of theta with respect to time. So basically here, r double dot there will give you negative L. If you're going to differentiate u with respect to theta, you're now differentiating it for the second time, right? You're now differentiating it for the second time. So this is just the second derivative. Please make sure that you have learned well the properties of derivatives. So in this case, this is going to be d squared. This is going to be d squared with a u over d theta squared, because here basically you have found the second derivative of u. And then this is going to be multiplied by d theta dt can be written again as theta with a dot on top. Theta with a dot on top. And then now to find our final expression for r dot dot, r double dot will be equals to negative L times theta dot. Remember, it can be still written as L times u squared. So we can just say this is going to be times L times u squared. Then this is going to be d squared u over d theta squared. So the final expression for r double dot there, or the second derivative for the radial distance, will be given by negative L squared, and then this is going to be u squared, and then this is going to be times the second derivative of u, which is d squared u d theta squared. I strongly urge you that you really remind yourself how derivatives work, because this is just a play around derivatives. Now we now know the value of r double dot, the one that we need to find our force function, and we know the value of r, and we know the value of theta dot. Okay, so now we just need to find our force function. We need to prove our force function that it is equal to this. So basically, remember that we apply Newton's second law and say that the force, in this case the radial force, is equals to the mass multiplied by the acceleration, in this case the radial acceleration. So the radial force there, we can just write it that f of u to the power minus 1, because remember that r is the same as u to the power minus 1. So this is f of r is the same as f of u to the power minus 1, because now we are expressing it in terms of u. You will transform everything to be in terms of u. So, but in this case, let me just write r exactly as it is before I substitute u to the power minus 1. This is f of r is given by m. Remember, we consider this radial component, right? R dot dot minus r theta dot squared. And then now we're going to say this is f of u to the power minus 1 now, and then this is going to be mass into, okay, r double dot in terms of u, we've already calculated it to be this. This is negative L squared u squared d squared u d theta squared. So this is going to be negative L squared, and then this is going to be u squared, and then d squared u d theta squared. And then there's a minus in the expression. This is going to be minus, and then this is going to be r, this is going to be r, and then, oh, remember that we have a value of r in terms of u. So r is just 1 over u, so we can just write that as 1 over u, and then theta dot squared. Remember, we've said that theta dot is equals to, according to our expression here, is equals to L u squared. So it's going to be L u squared. So we're just going to replace that by L u squared. And then now, to finish up this mathematics here, you would have so to finish up, you would have negative L squared u squared d squared u d theta squared, and then this u and this u will cancel off in a manner. You remain with negative L times u. So basically, to simplify this into your final expression, of course, to simplify this into your final expression, oh, remember there's a squared here, sorry, there's a squared here. This is theta dot squared, there's a squared there. So this is just going to be u to the power of, let's just see, this is going to be L squared, then this is going to be u to the power of 3 after doing all the cancellations. So now our final formula then for the force function, remember we have to prove that it is equals to this. So now let us try to prove that. Basically, what are we gonna do? We're gonna actually multiply everything in such a way that here we will remain with negative f of u to the power minus 1, which is our force function, multiplied by 1 over m, this is m, this is L squared, this is u squared. So we've basically basically multiplied both sides of the equal sign by 1 over ml squared u squared. If we do the same on the other side, the m and m will just cancel, the l squared and l squared will just cancel, the u squared will just cancel off. Then we are going to remain here, okay, let's just say this is positive. We're going to remain here with negative d squared u over d theta squared, and then this is going to be negative L squared and L squared, they've already cancelled out. This is just going to be minus U. This is just going to be minus U. So I hope that you see the mathematics here. We have just divided here. We've just multiplied by 1 over M L squared U squared. The m and m have cancelled, the l squared and l squared have cancelled off. We remain only with u. So basically there's still a negative here, so you can just factor out the negative and divide by it, such that we remain with something like negative f of u to the power minus 1 multiplied by 1 over m l squared u squared would give you equal to d squared u over d theta squared plus u. So this is the equation for the force function of okay, this is specifically a radial force of a planet that is moving and it is affected by a central force from the sun. So whenever they ask you about the force function, this is the equation to use, and we have proven it. In our next videos, we'll be doing examples of how to use the equation for the force function. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends to stay tuned.